I've been feeling it. It's okay. Everyone's feeling it. Some people are better at admitting that they're feeling it, but we're all learning. Cheers. Got my new Starbucks mug. Free coffee all month. That's abundant. I love you guys. Do you know that each soul has something to do here? Something great to do here. Every one of you. So we all need to grow. We're growing, guys. We're growing. Hi, love. I love you. We're growing. We have big work to do here, guys. I'm Sarah Richardson. I'm a cheerleader for the divine. When I do my videos, I put my feet in the sand. I do what I want. I do what I want. I love you. So guys, you know, a lot of people have been talking about spirituality. Spirituality is like the new move, you know? Spirituality is like what everyone's doing. And it's funny, because I remember thinking back to a time like, man, I wish people would get spiritual, like, you know, get to know themselves, get in touch with themselves, fall in love with themselves, become aware of themselves to fall in love with themselves, right? I remember thinking, wishing, like, oh, I wish. And now I see it. I see it in abundance everywhere. I'm thankful. I'm thankful that everyone is wanting to dive into spirituality, guys, right? And when you get out here in spirituality, you see that there's all kind of different things going on in spirituality too. You know, there's still your boxes, even though us in the spirituality world say, you know, we're coming out of these boxes and we're doing these things, names and labels and all that stuff. It makes me crazy, right? So the labels make me absolutely crazy. And then like when you hear someone like take the label and then put a definition to it that is to suit them, and it's just like extra messy. I don't get into it. Guys, spirituality is soul work. Soul work. It's learning about you. It's learning about your soul, right? So we have this physical body, and then we have a spiritual body, a soul body, right? And so, you know, a lot of things that are spiritual don't seem to make that much sense, and our human physical body is trying to make sense of these things, right? And so what is that? What is all that clashing and bumping around? What is all soul work? What is your soul? What is your ego? What is your, you know, masculine and your feminine and your, you know, all these things, all these labels? What is your God? What is this stuff, right? It's deep work. It's deep work, okay? Spirituality is soul work, self-work, deep self-work. That's what spirituality is. Deep self-work. To be able to live from the heart of your soul in your physical human. That's deep work. That's deep work. You're talking about all kind of things in that one little quick thing, right? You know, you're finding out in you that there's a masculine and feminine in you. There's a negative and positive polarity in you, right? There's a balance, please, in you. You know, there's a base for you. There's a top there. You're finding these things out. And what we're finding out is polarity, right? So we're seeing the polarity. We're seeing all these reflections of self, right? So all these different reflections of self are coming into your day, right? Every day. Every day you could be getting gas, you could be with your girls, you could be with your sisters, right? When these things are ready to come in, they're coming in, right? And so these things are coming in and you're trying to figure out, okay, is this a real thing or is this a spiritual thing? Everything is spiritual. Everything has a spiritual meaning. Everything that comes to you, that makes you angry, that whatever has a spiritual meaning. To me, God is love. To me, love is neutral. God is love and love is neutral. What does that mean for you? This soul work, woo. It gets so deep and it never ends. It gets deep. It gets deep. I'm not going to put the never ends part on it. I mean, I know I've been doing it a long time. I've been 13 years at this spirituality, right? Soul work. We didn't have all these labels for it. We were just like, fuck, man, I'm going through some things. And they're like, oh, you're just getting deeper inside yourself. But what we're finding is we're finding that sweetness of balance. That sweetness of balance of being able to, you know, live our spirituality as our reality. You know, living my spirituality as my reality has like been one of the biggest challenges. And that's the things that people don't even talk about, right? So like, you know, incorporating this into your every single day life, into your kids, into your mornings, into your afternoons, into your work, into what you run into, right? And so, you know, we are balancing the spiritual and the physical, but we're also balancing the negative and the positive, right? And we're balancing the give and receive, and we're balancing the grace and the strength. You know, we're balancing all these different things at the same time, right? And so that's why it can feel hectic. So that's why anytime you message me, I can guarantee you that it's okay, right? You're balancing a lot of things. And so when I have too many things and I'm holding up too many things and I'm balancing too many things, there comes a time where I have to put some things down. I have to put some things down for a little bit because I have to get my balance. I have to get back up. And that doesn't mean that I love anything any less. It just means I love me. And so I know I have to go back and get my balance, right? Because we're balancing all of these things at the same time, which is really hectic. So, you know, it's like we're constantly reinventing ourselves to be more in line with our heart's desires, right? And so it's like you live this day and you have this day and these things come into your life and these things are lined up with your heart's desires and these ones not so much, and you're not really sure come the end of the day what to expect for tomorrow and whatever. You know, this balance in self, this spirituality, this soul work helps you to feel okay on the inside. It helps you to navigate the inside, get to know the inside, honor the inside, release the stuff from the inside, all the things that they just can't happen outside of you. You know, spirituality, soul work happens inside of you. So like I'm a coach and I love being a coach and I love my clients, right? And I love talking to them and I love when they're in the thick of their soul work, right? But I have to know, even as a coach, that this is their choice. When they enter that place, that's their choice to go in. And so, you know, meditation has been so overused and overcharged for. You know, it's like you meditate on the things that happen to you, right? So if something comes, if you're going along in your life and you're loving life, right? And then all of a sudden something comes up into your life and it's, you know, getting you, it's getting your attention, it's getting you. So why is that thing coming to get your attention? Because everything is a divine plan, right? So the divine wants you to go in and meditate on what was that just happened? What did that make me feel like? What did that make me remember? What did that take the way I feel inside to? What did that do for me? See, that's how you communicate with your soul. You don't communicate with your soul like this type of communication. So I try to take soul talk and make it be like simple, like we can kick it around, right? But that's been my thing that I've been working on. That's been the thing that has stuck out for me. That's been the thing that I was learning that I felt like would have helped me as I was coming through this, right? You know, take what you get, leave what you don't. It's okay with me because I do soul work. I do soul work every day. Sometimes I do it and I have to make myself take a break. Sometimes I fall off for a little bit and maybe I don't do it enough. You know, I'm just like all of you, but I know and I'm aware that what I'm trying to do is live my soul out through my human, live my divinity out in my human feet. like live this as a human. Like everywhere my feet go, you know, I want people to feel the work that I've done on myself, because you can feel it. People can feel you. It's a vibrational thing that there are no words for, right? And so, you know, the center is the great balance. The center, so your heart and your solar plexus. We have a 528 on today. Solar plexus was coming up for me big. You know, there's been all these things going on. It's 2020, crystal clear vision, new year, new stuff, right? And so, you know, where do you find the balance? You find the balance in your center, in your heart, in your solar plexus. That's where you find the balance. That's where the I love is and the I can is. I can love. I can trust in my visions. I can trust in myself. I can ground my own foundation in and trust that I'm safe and secure. I can talk to my God when I want to and know that that's okay how I do it. I can speak and say the things that I want to say and know that I'm free to speak and say the things I want to say. I can feel the things I feel and the things that I've been through and what people have told me, and I'm okay to feel those feelings, right? And so, you know, in the center, it makes all of that soul work, right? Every time you're doing soul work out here, whatever kind of soul work you're doing, if you are having a rough time with it, when you go into your heart and so sometimes your hearts are really blocked off. And so that's why I say the 528, because the 528 will just kind of like bump up and press up into that heart until, like, you know, love has to go in there. Air has to go in there, right? And so that center, that's what keeps you steady as you ride the wave of love. You know, everybody wants to say, ride the wave, ride the wave. They want to tag me in it. They want to hashtag me in it. I love it, right? Riding the wave. But what is riding the wave? What is riding the wave? Riding the wave is when you're centered. That way, you know, no matter whatever is happening, you're flexible, you're movable, you're bendable, you're living from your heart, you're trusting in yourself and the moves that you're making, right? That's that center. So it's like your center, your anchor into your soul, your anchor into the divine, your anchor into your spiritual self for your spiritual journey, right? So people make this spiritual journey be so much fucking more complicated than what it is. Come on. That's why I had to do this message today. There are people complicating it the fuck crazy. I love you guys. You know, as a whole human body, right? So there's all these people running around here talking about this twin flame, and I love you. And I love you, and I want you to know that this has been one of the hardest things that I've ever learned about myself and on my spiritual journey, right? Because my human thought it was logical to work in the spirituality, right? And I wasn't trying to catch the grip of it's all about the center, the anchor. That's how you ride the wave. That's how you live this life. That's how you learn your lessons. That's how you forgive yourself. That's how you let go of things, right? I wasn't catching that. But, you know, why I teach alignment and why I'm into alignment and why I clear out the nervous system and why I help you to have a restart in life is because your soul wants that. Your soul wants to express its unique self, and your human is fighting it, right? And I get it, because I was like the biggest fighter, I'm telling you, against my own soul work and my own soul and what my soul wanted. Like, my human and my soul would fight all the time. Like, no, don't be nice because that person wasn't nice to you. No, don't forgive because that person, last time you let them back in, then that's when they hurt you. No, don't trust that person because last time you trusted in something like that blew up in your face. But guys, listen, I'm telling you, you know, you have this energetic body, your energetic body, that's your soul. Like, that's what you're navigating. That's what you're learning. Learn about it. Teach your kids about it. Talk to your friends, make friends about it. I'm telling you guys, learn about your soul. Learn about your energetic body. Learn about your own polarity. Learn about your own feelings and traumas and safety and security and sex life and all of these things. Learn about it in you. And whoever you pull to, that's great that you pull to somebody. And if you later on disconnect from that person, that's okay that you disconnected from that person. We're out here following our souls. And in our souls and in the energy work and the soul work, there's no logical sense in it, right? It's a feeling thing. It's like, I felt it, I went over here. I felt it, I went over there. I felt it, I pulled back. I felt it, I went stronger. Happy New Year. I love you too, Dina. So, what's really dope is when you learn about the divine masculine and the divine feminine in you, right? So, I see a lot of people talking about it. I hear a lot of people talking about it. And I see a lot of people I resonate with. And I see a lot of people that I don't resonate with. But it's all in you. And if you are a twin flame, and if you are resonating with twin flame, then you should know that you came here to do soul work. It has nothing ever to do with someone else. It always has to do with you. It always has to do with you. When we're talking twin flames, when we're talking inner child work, when we're talking, all these things, vibrational alignment coaching, all of these things that are available to you to help you get inside yourself, right? What you're trying to do is be able to navigate, Happy New Year, your own self. So, what do I mean by that, right? So, your divine feminine, think of inside of you as like this holy relationship of like the best man and the best woman alive, right? And so, the woman has to trust the man and the man has to trust the woman, and they have to live from a place of unconditional love. And I know none of that is very common, right? But this beautiful man and this beautiful woman that are inside of you, they're wanting to do this dance in life. And our human ego, whatever you want to call it, I don't even know the damn labels, is trying to make us make this logical, and it's not logical. It's, the things that happen and the things that come up and the synchronicities and the people that you meet and the things that people say, and you're under attack, and, your shadow and your inner child and what you think about all of these other things, your trust issues, your issues with girlfriends, right? All these things start to come up when you're on this spiritual journey. It's like every single day is a test sometimes. It feels like, why didn't they give me more ammunition for this battle that I'm going to be in? Like, I just wanted to know about me more, my spirituality more. Why does it feel like I have to fight for that, right? Well, that's because, everyone talks about karma too. Karma is another thing like over talked about. And it's funny because I've heard it so much like in circles. And then like, I even said to somebody like, I think you might be my karma. But like, I don't really like the word karma, because you know what karma is? It's your soul lessons. Like, it's the lessons that you came here to work out, to work on. Does that make that other person or that other situation be bad? No, everyone says karma's a bitch, and then you're like, oh, I have karma in my life, and you're like, fuck, she's a bitch, and then you're like, I'm getting attacked by karma. But those wordy words got in your way. When these situations are in our lives, karma could be work, karma could be, a cheating spouse type energy, a liar type energy. It's an energy that reappears in other people, right? And it's not just one person. Like, when someone has karma or soul lessons, they're reflecting in many other people, not just one person that you can point the blame for, right? And so if you see someone has karma, if you're looking around, you're like, oh, they're in their karma or whatever, I want you to go back into you and know that you have more work to do on your soul. Because if you can see someone else's karma, it's showing you that that is in your life in the unseen. It's deep, right? So it helps to make it so much easier to know it's all in you. Like, it's all in you. The teaching, the learning, the doing, the saying, the trying, the being nervous, the fearful, like it's just all in you. And we all have it. And so if there's one person out here that like looks like they're stronger, maybe they did a lot of soul work, or maybe that is gonna get them to a better place to feel stronger in themselves, right? It's not our job to judge them, right? When you're busy doing your soul work, when you're busy getting to know your soul and your spirituality and what spirituality means for you and what that does for your life and what that does for your routine and what that does for your community and the people around you, that's you. That's what you need to do. So, what's super dope is that like God or the creator made us and fashioned us together in the most super dope way, right? Because this feminine aspect of us, right? That's like our connection to God, our third eye, what we see, our mouth, and when we speak, right? And so you dream it up in here, right? And so then when you can take it down and like run it logically and get all the safety and security and foundational stuff mixed in together, about like manifestation is a process. Like people just want to like think of something and like manifest it. Like you're literally like taking all of the molecules and you're like putting them together from nothing. Would you give it some time? Would you be patient with the divine? I mean, what the fuck? I love you guys. So, when you pull your visions from the positive polarity of you, the feminine polarity, down into your gut, and when you balance that out, oh my God, is it so amazing what happens? It's amazing what happens. So, and it's funny that Spirit got me looking at this, because I've been looking at the Tolkien calendar, the galactic calendar, and I look at it every day, and I really like, the affirmations, and I really like to see the chakra that they say that we're on. Now, I don't know, but I can feel it. Like when they say a certain area, like I tune into my body before I even look to test and see, like, where do I feel in my energetic field, like what do I feel is like ready to start the day? Because like I believe that each of these energy centers has a day and has like a day of things that it needs to do for your soul work, so like soul work is every day. Like you don't get days off in soul work. You don't get to pick when you turn your phone on and turn your phone off, when these things come in, right? When you're doing soul work, I mean, lessons are coming, people are coming and going, and things are happening and things are not happening, and you can feel too overwhelmed with people, and you can feel too alone with people, right? That's soul work. It's deep work. It's like, fuck. It's in the work that I do, like I get the people that are like, I don't know what to do, and they're very like scared about what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to trust. Go into your heart. Hello, Haru. I love you too. So yeah, when you're making a decision, okay, so this is like a real question, a soul work question, right? So when you're making a decision, when you're seeing these visions, everybody that follows me knows that you create your life. You're the creator of your experience, right? So when you see these visions of these things that you want, when it drops down to your gut, because that's in a relationship, right? That's in a direct relationship with one another. And so when you are pulling your visions down, do you get nervous or do you feel empowered? Because the nervousness is letting you know you still got more soul work, so don't even worry about the answer yet. And the empowered is like, okay, you've done the soul work on this. Now you feel empowered in this spot. Now use it with love, right? So soul work is getting to know the positive and negative polarities in you, the positive and negative qualities in you, the positive and negative everything in you, right? And so when you're learning about these positives and negatives in you, where's the safe space whenever you feel off track? The heart. The heart is the safe space. The heart is where the love is at. The heart is where the connection is at. The heart is where I think you meet the soul and just be able to have the soul. I mean, it's amazing. Like I used to be that person that always used to want to go out for some kind of like guide me, show me, help me, am I right? Am I wrong? Right? But like going inside has been the best thing ever for me. Being aware of myself helps me to be aware of my soul. So like the more aware of myself I am, the more I am aware of my soul and what my soul and how my soul feels, right? So as you go in and as you meditate, you start to see how your soul feels and why your soul feels the way it does. And you have to love yourself in that moment. You know what I mean? God is love, and love is what? Neutral. It's neutral. It's a neutral. It doesn't care if you messed up or got it right? It's a neutral love, comfort, forgiveness, compassion. Joy, happiness, and peace is what your soul wants. Joy, happiness, and peace is what your soul wants, right? So a good soul detector, is my soul happy with what I'm doing? Am I nurturing my soul? Am I spending enough time on my soul? Am I taking care of my soul, or am I waiting for someone else to come in and take care of my soul? And so the good question to ask yourself in that time is, do I feel joy, happiness, and peace? Or do I feel in a place of uncomfort, right? So the opposite polarity of joy, happiness, and peace is uncomfort, right? So if you're in an uncomfortable time, you need to find your way back to your joy, happiness, and peace. And that is in you. And that is something that we could give you 100,000 tips on how to, go back in, right? But it's up to you. It's up to you to really do that. It's up to you to really want to go back in. Do you want to go back in? Do you want to do the soul work? Some people want to take a break from soul work. Soul work's hard. This is something that a lot of people aren't talking about. They're talking about spirituality. Oh, you're so spiritual. Oh, you're so connected. Oh, you're so this. Oh, you're so that. Get in touch with your soul. You'll learn that none of that shit means any different. None of it. None of it means anything if you don't know yourself. So, this soul work is so you can get to know yourself. So you can learn healthy ways to love yourself. So you can learn healthy boundaries to put up. Only Source knows, what you're really doing. Me, I've been working on my communication for 4 years in these live videos, right? And I still am working on communication. And sometimes I still have moments where things just come out whatever, but I'm okay. Because I have joy, happiness, and peace inside of me, right? And so if I say it wrong, I'm okay, whatever. I love her. She said it wrong. If I say it super right and everyone's ooh, I'm okay, I got to stay centered. I got to stay in the middle and be okay, I was on point. Sarah, I love you. I love you too, Haril. Your soul is yearning to be in a good place, to feel joy, happiness, and peace. Your soul is pushing for it, hella for real. And I think that that's what happened with this whole vibration lift and stuff like that, is your soul is really working harder than it ever has to override that human block, right? Because when you're aligned in your power and your divine power, when the masculine and feminine, when the negative and positive polarities in you are balanced out in the heart, you are at your full power. You understand, you understand, you just get it with no words. You don't have to explain it. You trust in it. You ask and you get an answer. You ask and something comes in to show you. If you get any nervous feelings out here, I want you to work in, do some kind of soul work, meditate, do a guided meditation, do a candle meditation, do a bathtub meditation, make up your own meditation if you don't trust anybody else's meditations. Just get in, get deep, get intimate with yourself, And I'm not talking about go fuck yourself and make yourself calm and all these things, right? I'm talking about get intimate with yourself. Learn what in your life are you dealing with. You'll be surprised if you ask yourself, what in my life am I dealing with that I don't even really want? I'm just dealing with it. I'm just oh, well, here's 95 reasons why I should. But it just doesn't feel good over and over and over and over again, right? Overstand, yep, understand, overstand, right? When you get deep with yourself, then you discover the mysteries of life. The mysteries of life start to come alive to you. They start to show out in your day. They start to come to you. You're just being so still, and these mysteries of life are everywhere. It's like nothing in your physical life changed, but everything feels so much more connected, right? That's what happens whenever you do soul work. That's the thing that people are envying in other people, is like they're able to be balanced in this time and the energy right now, right? And then, people see people balance, and then people energetically get angry because other people are balanced, and that's just because they're off balance in their polarity, right? When you're discovering the mysteries of life, your soul lights up. And then you're so excited about this mystery and going in, and you just want to share it with people. And that's why, each soul is so important, and each unique job for each soul is so important, because each mystery of life is different for you, right? And so then your soul gets lit up a different way, and then you share a different way. Your love is a different way. And like, that's what's super dope. Like, that's what's super dope about all of us being so different, but having the same type balance, right? So the things that you discover in the mysteries of life, the mysteries that come to you, the syncs that just hit and make sense, right? You want to apply that to yourself. So you want to, learn about it, dig into it, go inside about the knowledge about it. Say, I want to know more about it, right? We're learning to trust our intuition, the positive feminine polarity, right? Ooh, that's deep, right? So, you see these relationships out here. I don't know how I've been a relationship counselor. I got picked for the job. I got picked to be a relationship counselor over the last 4 years or so, whatever, since my videos. And what I learned is there are so many fucking trust issues that you guys better just heal yourself. Do self-work. Do soul work. I am guaranteeing that you need to do it. I am recommending you to do it. I am encouraging you to do it. I am cheering you on to do it. If you want to message me and tell me some things about yourself, I might know someone to send you to get you going in the right way. I have all kind of different friends out here that do all kind of different work. You have to get to know your soul. You have to get inside of yourself. Spirituality is soul work. So if you're out here looking for spirituality, trying to understand spirituality, trying to find God, trying to connect to your angels, trying to hear people that pass, right? If you're doing all of these things, you need to do soul work. That's how you get in touch with your spirituality of yourself. Yes, Chris. This is deep in us all. This is deep in every single one of us. Every single one of us has like a spiritual superpower. You think I'm fucking around? I'm not fucking around. You have a spiritual superpower. You do. You do. And if you're playing small, then I get it. Okay, whatever. I love you if you're over there playing small, but you have something big to do here. Your soul has something big to do. There is some big shit trying to bust out of you right now. And that's why so many people are out here like, I feel like I'm just going to explode. I'm so stressed out, right? Because their soul is like yearning to be seen. Their soul is wanting to express so damn bad. Just give everything thanks, guys. Natural laws have taught me to stay neutral. Like each natural law that I dove in about, that I learned about, that I practiced and applied to my life, through all of that, I didn't realize at the time, like if you had asked me like a couple years ago, that probably wouldn't have been my answer. Because sometimes we're up and sometimes we're down, and some was really hectic and some really wasn't. But, staying neutral when somebody hurts you, staying neutral when you're learning something, staying neutral when you see something that triggers you, staying neutral when something pulls you like it's never pulled you. Hi, love. Happy New Year. You want to stay neutral. You want to be that, like in that no judgment place. And that comes from a lot of soul work. That no judgment place comes from soul work. Like you are twerking it with your soul if you can be neutral, if you can just go into your heart when people are hurting you, when people are, you know, saying bad things about you, right? So what I've been learning about a lot lately is like being under attack, right? So this supposed, you know, negative attack, I've been learning about that with myself, right? And so you know, what I've been learning is that if other people are thinking ill of you, that will affect your energetic field, right? And so when we are deep in our soul work and deep in our spirituality, we know that every single thing is energy. We know that when we're out here and we're running these, you know, videos and stuff, that we have, you know, we put ourselves out here to be under attack easier. But what you, instead of being fearful in that place, if you're doing the soul work, you're not going to be fearful of being attacked. You're going to power up your shielding off, right? So, you know, the stronger that I get in this and the further that I go in this, I can't just shut off. You know, I've been building this momentum with my soul and with my soul work and in my spirituality and in my movement and what my soul is here to do, right? And so I can't let, because the amount of people that maybe I'm frustrating or triggering or whatever, I can't let them stop this. I can't let them stop this. What you know, the love that I have to give, right? And so, you know, you know, people are always like saying like, I wish I knew my guides. I wish I knew my guides. I wish I knew my guides. And all kind of readings that you see is like, my guides were telling me, you know, people that say things, my guides, you know, occasionally like in trying to find a word for it, I'll say my guides. But guys, it's really you. Like, you're the guide. You're the guide, you're the teacher and the student. You're the guide and the student, like at the same exact time, right? So what do you need to do about your guides if you want to know your guides, if you want to feel guided, right? What feels like love? Go with that. That's what your guides would tell you. That's what your soul would say to do, right? And what feels like fear, you need to sit with it for a little bit. You need to feel it. You need to let your heart let you know that you're safe about it, right? And you have to know that fear isn't a guide. You know, don't make your decisions out of fear. Don't make your decisions out of that place. You want to get through your fear, love on your fear, and then make the decision from love, from your heart, right? That's what we're learning how to do. That's what the soul work is bringing you to do. The soul work is bringing you to do life from your heart. And life from your heart can be hard when you have all kind of things that happen to your heart and you're trying to shield it off, right? And so, you know, spirituality is just you basically trying to get to your heart. You're trying to get to know your heart. You don't even know what's in your heart because you might have been in a place of fear for so long, and that's okay, right? We had ancestors that like lived there for like 100 and however many the longest person lived before, right? Oh, this cup keeps my coffee hot. Your soul wants to create, guys. Your soul is like yearning to create, right? It wants to use the pain that it's been through for passion, right? And so, I love this. So I pulled a card, right? I have Abraham Hicks cards, and I just totally love them. And so I pulled cards for this reading, and then I pulled this one, and it was pretty dope. And it's like right with my message. And it's an 11. Mirror, look at yourself, right? While your societies continue to try to dictate and enforce human behavior to please the majority, because of your diversity, it continues to be an uncomfortable struggle that again and again falls of its economic weight. There simply is not enough money in the world to buck the natural currents of individual freedom and independence of thought. So it's like, we get to choose what we think about. We get to choose what comes up in our energy field. We get to choose the boundaries we set. We get to choose the choices we make. We get to choose the amount of soul work we want to do. Hi, today my heart has been racing off and on. Yeah, that heart is really trying to work it out. You know, our hearts are really, really trying to make sense of all of these things that are going on. You know, I woke up yesterday kind of feeling like sick, and it's funny. It's just like all, I don't know. It's like in my face, like in my head. You know, you just got to take care of yourself. You got to love you. You know, times get tough. Times do get really tough in your soul work. You know, when you're finding out about what does spirituality mean for you. And then whenever, you know, you're deep in this spirituality, you're feeling it, and then you're feeling like your soul is telling you to disconnect from these people that helped you. And you're like, what? Like I should, you know, and none of it makes sense. And you're like, I don't know what to do. But it feels really easy sometimes to just be like, I'm just like losing faith in spirituality altogether. That's the easy move. You know, when things get weird in your soul work, and when things get weird whenever you're going in and trusting your heart, and when things get weird when you're forgiving yourself, you know, you're just like, I don't even want to have faith that anything good is out here in this world. You know, I'm seeing this world, I'm seeing the news, I'm seeing what's really happening out here. I'm just losing all faith. Times get tough, guys, you know, on everyone's spiritual journey. We're all doing this together, right? And so times get tough. And, you know, I'm telling you that, like, I've given up. I've tried to, like, lose my faith. I've tried to get rid of it and be like, I don't even believe in that anymore. It's all right, right? But, you know, in the tough times when you feel like nothing is, like, seeming to help, no one is seeming to help. This church isn't helping. This group isn't helping. These people aren't helping. My best friend isn't helping. My man isn't helping, right? What helps? Be still and go into your heart. Meditate on the way you feel. Like, you know, you meditate when you feel good, and you meditate when you feel really bad. Like, you just meditate. You just go in. You go inside of yourself. You know, meditation is, as you learn it, you're teaching yourself to kind of shut off the outside world and to go in, and then to go in and start to clean up and rearrange things. You know, we have to clean up our energetic bodies like we clean our houses. So think about it. Like when you're cleaning your kitchen after you just cooked for like Thanksgiving dinner or something, right? There comes a time in the clean where it feels messier than when you started, and you already did a whole bunch of stuff and you're like, what the hell? Well, that's the same thing as your energetic body. You know, when you're starting this clean and when you're starting to dive in, you can feel like you should be at this certain point in your cleaning process, and you're just not there. And you're like, what is happening? Like, why am I not cleaning this up? Be still. Be easy with yourself. You have to love you when you're in pain. You know, most of us are like running from ourselves. Like I did it. I tore my ACL and I duct taped it together. And I just went back out and ignored it and just kept going. That's ignoring your soul. You need to feel it all. You need to get to a place of honoring it all, very deep down inside of you. And if you think you did all like the forgiveness and the honoring part, right? And you're humdumming through life, and it comes up again, that's because you didn't fully work on it. And so your soul is like, you still have work to do here, homie. Word up. Right? It's not being mean. It's not anything like that. It's just you have work to do. I like this 528. This is the new CD, guys. And I'm freaking loving it. Dissolving the Illusions. If you know me, I'm listening to smile.com. I love it. This is Dissolving the Illusions for January. It's cool the way Ian does his music. He like links it all up with like the moons and the energy cycles and all that shit. Just makes complete sense to me with no words. He's always like, tell me how you love it. I'm like, oh my God, that felt amazing. I said, I feel like we say this all the time. Hi, love. So yeah, you know, when you're feeling it all, when you're getting to a place of honoring it all and forgiving it all and releasing it all, that is some deep, 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 deep soul work. Hey, love. You know, That's deep. It's deep, you know? We have hurts that are deep inside of us. All of us do. And, you know, I just got hurt really deep. My intuition showed me some shit I didn't want to see. Some shit I wasn't trying to see. I fight my soul. My human fights my soul all the time. That's why I tell you, guys, spirituality is soul work. Right? That's what I've been doing. But you know, this deep hurt that I just experienced, like just really at the same exact time, it was like I got to see the polarity of the situation like immediately, right? So this is how I know I've been doing a lot of like soul work. This is how I know that I've been transforming my world into a spiritual world, you know? That my whole life is spirituality. Whether I'm saying fuck you in the name of love or I love you in the name of love, the whole thing is a spiritual process. Hey, Cuddy. My deep hurt showed me how deep I was able to love, how deep I was able to feel love and give love and all of those things, which was huge in the name of love for me, because like I was always more into other things, not love. I was trying to avoid love. Like some people try to avoid money, like some people try to avoid all these things, right? I was trying to avoid love. And so, you know, I had always been through some hurt, right? And so we'll talk real. And so that's why I blocked myself off. But like, if I would look at like the logical of this relationship, I would think like, oh, it's just the same old thing. The same old thing. But my soul work won't let me look at it like this. My soul work is like, look how you were able to love.
It does not lie in the outward world.
Oh, there she goes.
It lies within your own being.
I didn't even know Dana was on here. I love her. Dana has a very distinct voice when it comes with the vibration, so I heard her talking to me, and I was like, oh, I gotta hear that.
And it was even made before your birth.
So yeah, you know, as you learn about the polarity in yourself, you can see the polarity in each situation. You know, was I able to change the situation to where I didn't get hurt deep? No. No, that's not how it works. I had to feel the hurt and then go into my heart and see the love in it. You know, a lot of us are out here trying to like validate our losses or our feelings about our losses, right? And so in trying to validate our losses or our feelings about our losses, we end up keep thinking about it, talking about it, thinking about it, talking about feeling it, thinking about it, talking about feeling it. So we keep creating more, you know, you have to validate the loss, and then you have to feel about it. Like you have to feel inside of you about the loss. Yes, I used to. I know it, girl. I know it, Linda. It's big out here, right? This is true spirituality. You know, this is what spirituality is finding out about yourself, finding out about your soul, finding out about where your soul fits in this world. What makes your soul feel good, shine out, rock on, right? A lot of people are like, I don't know why my life is so bad. I'm like, you keep fighting your soul. You know, your souls are getting a lot stronger now, guys. I mean, the world is pushing people to learn that like spirituality isn't up on some fucking mountain. It's in my kitchen with my dinner on. My sister got my baby, right? I'm drinking coffee. I got cards. I got friends. I love you guys, right? But yeah, you know, you can validate the loss of what you're going through. Of course you want to do that, but you want to feel it. You don't want to just be like, oh, you know, thank you for that thing that hurt me. And just think you're going to like move past it. You know, I just sit in the hurt. But then like once I sat in the hurt for a little while, and like literally last night only took me like 52 minutes or something, right? After I sat in the hurt for a while, I just like felt my personal power. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't have to be mean. I don't have to be rude. I can just be me and take my power back. Okay, so that hurt. Okay, so I went through some things. Okay, I'm still Sarah. I still have things I need to do out here. Still have a soul that wants to express itself in here, right? So embrace your authentic emotions. Like last night, my sister, of course I was with my sisters, thank God. The divine knows how to throw it to you, right? And they're my younger sisters, so a lot of people are like, I would never learn from my younger sisters. They help me all the time, right? Sometimes when I need it, when I tell them, when it is lined up like this, right? And, they're like, okay, like you haven't talked. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know. I just have to like process this all through. And so, at that moment, like that was my authentic self. Like I didn't want to try to talk about it because it was just like, whoa. It felt like someone like shot a Nerf ball into my throat. I was trying to breathe. I was a Christian, reading the Bible every day and speaking in tongues. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I read the Bible. I read the Bible still. I never spoke in tongues. I've heard it before. Whatever anybody wants to do, but spirituality is getting to know yourself. So did you know what you were saying in tongues? When you read the Bible, are you taking the message for yourself? Or are you thinking that that's a message for your neighbor and you've already bypassed that in spirituality because you read the Bible? I'm not saying that for you, Angela. I'm just saying there's a lot of people out there that think that because they go to church and because they, say this or do that or whatever, that they're like higher on the chart or connection or whatever. And that's just not true. This is a journey to learn your soul. And if you're thinking someone else is going to do it for you in any kind of way ever out here, you're not doing it. Let your emotions get as raw as they get. Let them feel as raw as they feel. Let them just rip. Let them. Why not? Why wouldn't you? No, but I am listening to the message, but no, I never fit in. Yeah. It's not like true. Yeah. Like all these religions and stuff can push your soul to what feels good and what doesn't feel good, right? You get these indicators in your soul. Everything's a lesson in your soul. But then like you have to embrace your authentic soul, right? And so, I have a way that I like to pray or call in. I like to call in my best friend. So, I lost my best friend and he was someone that unconditionally loved me through everything, right? Knew exactly like where my heart was. It was crazy, but like, I'll call him in. So like last night I had this like really hard, painful moment and I just called him in. And I was like, Manny, like, can you just come lay with me for a little bit and just let me know that this is all going to be okay? And like, every piece of this happened for a reason. And, everything that I was trying to know, please stay with me till I feel better is what I said to him. And I felt him on the couch with me and I passed out, right? It took me a while. But you can do spirituality however you want to do spirituality. So if you call on Archangel Michael or Mother Mary or Jesus or Buddha or the Bible or, whatever, you want to reach out, because that's how it's like you ask the questions to yourself and then the universe responds through someone else, but it's yourself. Yeah. So emotions can feel wild sometimes, guys. They can feel fiery. You can feel like supercharged, crazy, right? But every single one of them is so important. And so like, please, like, I am not a feelings minimizer. Like if someone has feelings, I'm like honoring the shit out of them things. Like even if they make no sense to me, I'm like, I honor your feelings. As I was sitting with my friend last night, it helped me to like gather up my emotions. Like when this pain first came into me, I felt like my emotions were all over the floor. I felt like, fuck, man, like I just dropped the whole basket that I've been like carrying, right? But as I called my friend with me and I started to do my breath work and stuff like that, I started to like clean up my emotions about it and just kind of sit with each one like, oh, okay, well, I felt like this about this and I felt like this and then last time and this time and this. And, your mind's going to take you everywhere, right? And that's why you have to keep going back to your heart. What are we trying to do here, heart? And let your heart get you back on track. And you have to practice this. It takes strength and it takes practice. It's soul work. You know, it's like the meathead, the big dude at the gym that's fucking super killer buff, like, and he can go and like pick up like the whole equipment. He didn't just walk in there one day and be able to pick up the equipment. He had to train for that. So, you know, same as your spirituality, it takes strength, it takes practice. Spirituality is soul work, you know, to trust your intuition. That's soul, it takes soul work to know about the negative and positive in you. That's soul work. The masculine and feminine in you, that's soul work. The heart space in you, that's soul work. You know, you're disciplining yourself to trust your gut, to follow your gut, to follow your intuition, to take action on your visions, to, you know, make yourself safe and secure, to, you know, trust in God however you trust in God, to whatever you want to do. True. Thank you. I love you. You know, we're disciplining ourselves to follow our gut and trust our own feelings. And so, okay, you know, maybe one time or a couple times, or maybe even a lot of times, you did something and you felt good about it, and then it turned around and bit you in the ass. Okay, that's soul work. It's not anybody else's fault. It's soul work, right? And so, okay, the thing bit you in your ass. Now, next time, you know, everybody always looks back and said, you know, I felt something off about that. I felt that last week before that happened. I felt that, right? I just had that happen and the pain that I just went through. Fucking last night, today, whatever, right? But all it is teaching you to trust your own feelings, trust your own intuition, trust your gut about things, right? I kept going against my human, kept going against my spirit. That's what keeps happening. That's the fight out here. So, you know, in doing the soul work, I have gotten a lot of emotional maturity. So, like, I'm 36, you know, and I know a lot of people that are older than me and younger than me and whatever on the journey, and your real actual age does not matter. I know a lot of these kids are more emotionally mature than adults, but emotional maturity is like having emotions, owning your emotions, understanding your emotions, knowing what gets to your emotions, knowing why that gets to your emotions. And you learn that all through soul work. And there's not like a notebook on emotional maturity. You know, you have to go through it. Emotions get kicked up. Things get said. Things go down. Things happen all around, right? And then, you know, you're learning. Those are life lessons. So you have to harness your feelings in. So anything outside of you that's making you feel some type of way besides joy, happiness, and peace, right? Even the joy, happiness, and peace, follow it, right? Follow it in. Follow the hurt in. Follow the joy, happiness, and peace in. This is how you are going to get to know the negative and positive polarities. Follow the joy in. Follow the negative feeling in, right? Into you. What does that mean? Harness that feeling. Focus on that feeling. We cannot ignore our feelings anymore. This is a soul talk. This is a soul talk about soul work, about spirituality is soul work, about it's all soul work, soul talk. You know, we have to engage our feelings. We have to, you know, a lot of people want to be alone when they're doing soul work. That's why I'm so thankful. Like, I have been able to be by myself in my soul work. You know, I have been able to, even now having True, get somebody to watch her, like, hey, I got to go in on myself. And like, when I watch her, I don't like go shopping or go to the bar or anything. Like, I'm doing some serious soul work. And some of it's like super uplifting. And some of it's like, I feel like I'm in the doo-doo after. And I'm like, I don't know. Either way, either we're going to go out to eat or we're going to go get a salt bath. But after I'm done with that, I have to tune into my heart and see what my heart and soul needs to do, right? And then when you're cohabitating with somebody else, you want to be in harmony with them too and what their soul is needing to do for that too. And so that's a lot of extra stuff. On top of balancing yourself, balancing somebody else is extra. So if you're doing that, give yourself some love, you celebrate yourself, right? You know, taming your emotions is work. That's one of the big things that I have been doing, is taming my emotions. You know, my emotions were fierce. And anybody who ever caught the steam from that, I give you some love. I give you some love. I always try to say my sorries. I always try to say my thank yous and what I'm appreciative about, right? But, you know, taming your emotions really takes a lot of work. Focusing your emotions on yourself and things you want to do good out here is work too. So like turning that pain into your passion and letting that passion fuel your body, you know, those are the things, they're work, right? Yeah, they're work. They're work you don't get paid for, they're work you put long hours in for, they're work you really work hard for, the work you cry for, you sweat for, you throw up for, whatever, right? Your body hurts for. But when you're done, you're going to feel so productive and empowered. I'm telling you, every single one of us has psychic abilities. Every single one of us is intelligent. Every single one of us is full of vitality. Every single one of us is wanting to lead something great with our hearts, right? Every single one of us has pride in what we do and who we are as people. But are you emotionally drained? Are you emotionally charged? You know, my message from Spirit today, I had a lot to do with the feelings and coming from feeling hurt to feeling empowered, right? And so a lot of us are coming from like a deep hurt and we're coming into a place of like deep strength. And then where do you find the balance in that? In your heart, right? So, you know, either way, if you're emotionally drained or if you're emotionally charged, you need to slow down. You need to go in. You need to meditate. You need to feel good, feel peaceful, feel good about your decision. Don't feel all over the place and scattered, right? Get to a place of observing your feelings. So like, you know, as they come up, don't react to the feeling coming up. Just be aware of it. Like, okay, this feeling's coming up. Okay, when I, you know, talk to them, this feeling comes up. When someone says that to me, this feeling comes up. Whenever I see this thing, this feeling comes up. Whenever I hear this thing, this feeling comes up. Start to observe your feelings. Just start to be aware of like what you're feeling when it comes in. You know, I always say, you know, look at the things that like get your attention because those are the easiest things to notice. Your soul wants to create. Your soul wants to be healthy. Your soul wants you to be free, right? And your soul feels all these energetic cages that are going on around you, keeping you from not being authentic. We're balancing thinking and feeling, guys. Feeling is how you get to know your soul. Feeling is how you do the soul work. Feeling is how you do all of this. You have to feel. It takes a lot of courage to love, guys. It takes a lot of courage to love you. It takes a lot of courage to trust. It takes a lot of courage to try again, to be vulnerable, right? It takes a lot of courage. And a lot of people are addicted. Their minds are addicted to the suffering part. Like, a lot of people think in spirituality, like, you must suffer, right? Where instead of just looking at the lesson, like, you know, okay, like, yeah, that caused a lot of pain, or I was really in my feelings a lot, but like, now I feel so great, right? Everyone gets stuck in like the suffering part. Your mind is addicted, so you keep on creating these circumstances that are making you feel like you're suffering. You know, we're drying those old programs out so we can be the flame, so we can have our flame be lit, right? And so, you know, drying out suffering, the programming of suffering, that's big, huge soul work too, right? And so like, so many of you are out here doing big, huge soul work, and you think while you do it, you're going to be like pretty, have all this energy, be, oh, here, like, you know, where I meet a lot of people is when they're in the doo-doo. So like, if it's it is a challenging process. And so if you feel like you're in the doo-doo, love yourself there. If you need to reach out to me, I'm here, but love yourself there. That's what you're learning. You're learning to love yourself in the doo-doo. To feel more, to think less. You're freeing your heart from your fearful mind, right? So a lot of us are making choices with our hearts from our fearful mind, not from our enlightened mind, not from our connected to the divine mind. When you free your heart from your fearful mind, that is where you feel the power. That's where you knew that's where you realize, like, whoa, I was creating some shit in my life through my own fearful mind, not even realizing it. My soul has been trying to get my attention. Wow. All that weird shit that Sarah said was totally right. I know. I don't see spirituality like a lot of people see spirituality. I don't see the labels like a lot of people see the labels. I don't see the things like a lot of people see the things. I see them how I see them. It's my gift, I guess. So you need to practice, guys. You need to practice training your brain. Always think up. Training your brain to override old patterns. That's soul work. Always think up is soul work. Always think up is the way that I have worked with my soul. That's my thing. That's how I worked with my soul, by always thinking up, by retraining my brain, by retraining my thought process around all my triggers and the things that hurt me and the things that made me shut down my heart. When you are doing this soul work, it gets easier to get into the surrender position, the neutral position. And that's exactly what I had to do with the pain that I just experienced today. I had to just go into neutral. Neutral is in my heart space. I love every single moment of it. I love the pain about it. I visited what the pain brought up to me. I cried about it a little bit in my bath, right? A free mind is joy in your mind. If you're thinking, if you have someone in your life that you can't communicate with and you're always thinking these things, cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. If not communicating is leading to miscommunication and that's taking you away from your joy, happiness, and peace, you do not have to explain anything to anyone. You can just cut it out and keep it moving and say whatever. If that was a mistake, then I'll get another chance. If that wasn't a mistake, then I'll get another chance. That's how it works. That's when you're in your heart, right? Let love be how it should be. Let love be what it is. I can't pick the way that person was loving me. That person can't pick the way that I was loving them. We need to just let love be how it needs to be. We need to let our love guide us instead of think that we have to protect ourselves from our love, right? That's what a lot of us are doing. We think we have to protect ourselves from our love. Like I just said a couple weeks ago, I've been going through this for a while. It doesn't just happen like in just like a couple minutes. Sometimes it can be like 2 weeks, right? And I just been going through it. And I just been letting this love be what it is. You have wisdom in your heart. In your mature heart comes deep wisdom comes in there. You find that in soul work. Your wisdom. That's what links you to your ancestors. That's what makes you be like your grandma and you didn't even know her and stuff like that, right? Your soul is like on this quest for life. This, one of the big parts about my soul work is I have to really learn how to have more fun. Part of my spiritual journey is for me as a human to learn how to have more fun and not take life so serious, right? Everyone is totally different on this. Your ancient heart loves your soul, and your ancient heart is like in line with your soul and wants you to live happily in your soul, right? Wants you to love again, wants you to be a lion in love. So what is being a lion in love, right? Some people out here think that because I'm like sweet that I won't say that I'll kick you in the fucking throat in the name of love, right? I have to. There's some people out here that are like devouring people's hearts just for something to do. You can't let that happen to you. You have to roar. I'm not cruel. I'm not hard. I'm not careless. I am a lover, right? But if somebody is trying to eat my heart out, I don't want that. If there isn't a good give and take. I need to stand up for myself and put my boundaries up and have my roar. You know, I'm passionate about my heart, my soul. You got to stand true to your heart. Like, once you start to get to know your heart, then you're like, I'm standing true to this thing. We went through a lot together, right? And so then, you know, as you're standing true to your heart, that might cause a little trouble. That might make a little noise. Be proud to stand up for your heart. Stand up for your heart like mighty big. And then when you're done standing up for your heart and all that, rest up, because that's some work, right? You know, we got to refuse to let the wolves keep trying to eat you alive. You know, so all these people are out here like, oh, they're eating me alive. They're eating me alive. Be a lion for your love. Don't let them eat you alive. Stand up for yourself. Find your power. Your power is in your heart. Go into your heart. Do the soul work. Find out about your soul. Get to know your soul. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be going in. You need to be meditating. You need to be getting to know your soul. You need to know what your soul is joy, happiness, and peace. That's what it wants. But how do you get it? Sounds so fucking simple, right? But it's not. Cheers. I love you. That's why I cheer you guys on with my ladybug. Ladybug. I love you guys. So, you know, we got to claim our land out here. What's that mean? Claim your land. It's you. It's your heart. It's your soul. Not somebody else's soul mission and what they want you to do and feel like you need to be doing for them or whatever. No, it's yours. So many people on this autopilot are just like waiting for someone to like take over their land and like fill up their land and their time, right? Spirit had a deep message today. Do not glue yourself into less than you are worth. Do not glue the titles that people say, the names that people call you or whatever to yourself. Anybody shaming you, don't glue yourself to that. Know that you're free from that. Know that your soul wants like super great shit for you. You're not a victim. You free yourself. That's soul work. Jesus doesn't come and save you. Jesus learned how to do his soul work. Jesus is cheering you on to do soul work. Jesus knows the soul work is not easy. Be a lion for self-love. Be empowered to succeed in your life. Feel that in your heart. Your heart wants you to succeed. Have that. Feel that. You know, you have what is required in you. Anything that you need is in you. Anybody that you need is in you. Anything that you need is in you. Do you want to win? Do you want to create your best life? That's what we're doing. We came here to create our best lives, to clear stuff out, to do the soul work, to create our best lives. Do you want that? You got to breathe to connect. You got to imagine to connect. You got to ground in to connect, right? You got to feel it all to connect. You got to speak to your soul to connect. You got to listen to connect. You got to do those things to connect. You got to ask for messages if you don't understand. And be open to receive them. I love you guys because we're all connected. I write this stuff down because it goes deep. You know, I say what I want, but I need to get the main messages out to you guys. I love you. I love you, Ian. I love the new CD. I've been jamming out. I love you guys because we're all connected. I know that in my soul work, I got to do some healing on this head. Sometimes when you go through a lesson, you can feel a little off. Your body can hurt. You can feel sick. All kind of stuff happens. That's why I turn the vibes on. The vibes really help. As you do your soul work, vibrations help tremendously. Meeting Ian was like meeting Archangel Michael. Or who's the Archangel of music? Does anybody know? Oh shit. Trivia question. Who is the Archangel of music? Because that's what I feel like Ian is to me. I like healing vibrations, but I'm still cool. And so I wanted like cool healing vibrations, and he provided that. I could have never imagined. If I didn't do my soul work, I would have never met Ian and found listening to Smile. You know, it helps you to release from a cellular level. So we're learning all of this stuff that I just talked to you about today at a cellular level. At a like macro and micro level. At the same time. Balance. It's weird. None of it makes sense. It doesn't come with a manual. We're trying the best we can. I love you guys because we're all connected. I seriously do. I seriously do. I hope you're staying warm. I hope you're doing what you love. I hope you're tuning into your heart, your soul. I hope you're starting to become aware of what feels good and not good for those. I love you. I love you so much because we're all connected. If you have any questions, message me. I'm always here. One love.